Hello everybody. Milo's sitting here right next to the microphone. He might say hello. Want to tell everyone hi, bud?
Now he just wants to eat my bread. You could probably turn up the music, maybe. Seems pretty quiet.
But then they might not be able to hear us. Especially you. Straw.
Straw? Oh, let's draw.
Let's draw.
Straw.
Hey there, Jordan. How's it going?
Hello.
Don't recognize the name. First time to the stream? So what kind of background are we going to use? Or what color, I should say?
I was thinking about going with a pretty dark gray, basically low down here. Because a lot of his colors are pretty light.
Yeah, he's mostly like light pastel colors, so...
And his hair is white, so to help that show up.
If you want like a really good contrast, maybe like an amber background, like amber or a dark purple, something like that.
Dark purple? We've got him on a white background here. I wanted him to have him on like a light background, but I feel like white looks really striking on that though.
Oh, what's up, Brandon? How's it going? Been a while since I've seen you around. Hope everything's going well for you.
It's been so long since I watched Inuyasha.
Yeah, it's a classic. Talking back all the way into the 90s with it.
Yes, Milo?
Milo is just being forceful today.
Everybody must pet me and feed me their bread and their steak.
Maybe throw him up in the chair.
What do you think of this, bud?
Maybe if he's comfy, he'll be good. Hey, Ragnar, how's it going?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Oh, I'm
Pretty
kind of
cranky.
sore. I think I'm coming down with some kind of a flu or something, but
Man, I hope not.
maybe I'll just eat some pickles and get rid of it. It went well, Rags. Thanks for asking. It went off without a hitch. Just still been getting used to actually being able to move around again. But
Yeah,
it's
he's
feeling a
actually
lot
been-
better.
He's actually been able to work out some, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sore from that too. It's been a while since I've been able to move freely, so. It felt like this for a couple of weeks after the last time too, that I had this procedure done, so I'm hoping it doesn't get worse again like last time. I'm trying to work out and strengthen my back as much as I can. I think part of the issue might have been I just may not have been working it out enough before, and it was able to revert back into bad shape.
Yeah, I didn't really understand how the shot's supposed to work. We did a little bit of research, and we were thinking that he needed to like be as still as possible so that the steroid and stuff wouldn't leak out, because they said that could happen. But it turns out you actually want to be as active as possible while there's no pain. Did it come back fairly suddenly, or?
The only pudgy guy here, I wouldn't worry about that, Rags. I've got plenty of pudge to last me for quite a while. Even if I worked out hardcore, it'd take forever to get back to normal, I think. I've just let it go too hard. What was your question? Sorry.
Oh, when your back pain came back, was it fairly sudden or was it gradual?
It was actually really sudden. I was actually feeling good for a couple of weeks, and it actually lulled me into kind of a false sense of security. I thought everything was going to be good, and then like out of nowhere, it just went bad. I thought I injured myself again. No, Ragnar saying you're gonna beat him up again.
Nah. Oh crap, I'm trying on the wrong layer. Although I swear, the way some people look at me, they think I'm going to.
I don't know if Rumiko Takahashi music is gonna be. The audio quality on these seems pretty poor.
It's old music.
Yeah.
Yamada!
Bloodstain's awesome, Rags. I love it. I've almost gotten to 100% completion on the castle. I'm actually wondering if they're gonna do something that's similar to Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where is there a way to secretly unlock a second castle? So I'm just waiting. I've actually gotten to the point where I can finish the game, but I get the bad ending. So I'm hunting all around the castle looking for secret rooms, because there's something to unlocking the better ending. Yeah, she does. Miriam's she's actually pretty thickly built for her kind of character. I was like, I've always seen Koji do like these really thin, like almost traditionally thin, like old English style vampires. The ones that are incredibly pale and super thin, even for the regular characters. And I know she's not a vampire; she's a shardbinder. But I don't know. It seems like he's actually lent a lot more weight onto his character roster this time around.
They literally are heavier?
Yeah, generally it seems like the whole cast of Bloodstained is a little bit more meaty.
Guess that's good to see.
Yeah, this music has like no volume to it whatsoever.
Turn it up!
But if I turn this up and then the next song is at normal volume, it's going to be really loud. It's because it's poorly recorded old music.
Such is life. I mean, I could try to draw her.
See, this music is of normal volume.
Yeah, because Rena is actually pretty recent.
I like how Koji was willing to take risks and put tattoos all over one of his characters.
Yeah,
I know
that was, I mean, for a Japanese game, that's...
Well, it actually is part of the lore. I mean, they're actually technically not really like tattoos. They are tattoos, but they're related to the storyline. They're like different areas where she had shards bound to her. And they're like almost, I think they're supposed to be like bound like the way they bind it to her. Almost like seals that lock the power into her.
It's just unusual to see tattoos in, like, Japanese media.
Oh, I keep meaning to look. Is Zangetsu David Hayter? He really sounds like David Hayter. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, that is frickin' Snake. Zangetsu, the crazy samurai that kept trying to kill me in Bloodstain.
Oh, yeah.
The one with the seals all over his arm.
Yep, I remember that guy.
Hey, Mark, how's it going, bro?
I don't like this face.
You doing alright tonight?
Oh, hello.
So, Rags, outside of Bloodstained, have you been playing anything else?
I wish.
Man, I wish David Hayter was related to us somehow. I would have so much stuff for him to sign.
Yeah, keep that dude busy.
How is Judgment? I've really been wanting to get it. I completely forgot it was coming out.
Milo. No, don't knock over his drink. No. What are you doing? Yeah, I don't know what's with Milo tonight.
Did you put him in the chair?
I did. He hop back down.
We have a comfy chair for Milo that whenever he's being, like, he gets very, like, I don't know, aggressively loving. Like, he just comes up no matter what you're doing. He just smashes his face into you and just loves the crap out of you. But he has, like, overgrown fangs. So when he does this, it can actually hurt quite a bit because the fangs tend to scratch you.
I swear he does that on purpose.
And, yeah.
Don't eat. What? You don't need to be up there. No business up there. Calm yourself, potato. Wow.
Just chill out, buddy.
He must be in the business.
He keeps, like, coming up trying to knock over the microphone and the keyboard and everything.
The way she draws everybody is so round. Rumiko, why?
Rumiko does everything round.
Yeah.
Round and sharp. She only knows circles and triangles. Hey, audio, what's going on?
Hello.
Oh, you made the guild in Dauntless? So how did the guilds work in Dauntless, Mark? I don't think they actually had them while we were playing it. There was a guild hall there, but it wasn't open yet. Every time you approached it, it would say, this is a feature not yet in the game. If you guys hear any weird, like, scraping or bumping, that's Milo rubbing on the microphone.
Spreading the love. Oh, and we're still working on the 14 picture. We spent like 3 streams on it and it's not done yet, so we're just gonna finish it on our own time and post updates in the Discord because I don't want to bore people with the same picture forever.
Yeah, we're still gonna be working on it, but today I've actually got, like I said, I'm not feeling too good, and I've got a lot of soreness in my neck. Maybe it's my my phone bones bothering me. And I didn't really feel like drawing today.
Yeah, and he's still
Hey Dave,
working
how's it
on
going?
He's still got the armor to draw. Oh, hello.
Oh, so it's just an online or on-screen name and tag. There's no like benefits to having the guild. Like a lot of games when they have guilds, they'll usually have some kind of buffs or bonuses to EXP or stats, that kind of thing going.
Fan art draws him so sharp, but all Rumiko stuff is so round. I don't know how to handle this.
Rumiko's artwork honestly looks really along the lines of old school Pokemon.
Yeah.
As far as the characters, like they have these really wide faces that come together in like, it's like a 30-degree angle from jawline to jawline to their chin, and then just really huge like squarey kind of oblong eyes.
I'll draw him in profile.
And the way she draws elderly people is so funny. It's like they're all just the smallest. It's like everyone is like at least 5-6 feet tall, up until they're about 50, and then boom, they shrink down to like 2 feet tall. They become a penguin pretty much. Yeah, I tried that earlier, Dave. I tried to get in some gaming on Bloodstained and a couple of other things, and nothing was working for me. It was kind of making my headache worse, so I was just like, I just gotta call it, and had to grab a nap right before the stream just so I could be here, so. It's just one of those things. Excuse me, sorry. The medicine I got's making me a little drowsy, so. What might take the edge off is maybe some pickles.
You got pickles. I didn't even see you get up to get those.
They're magic pickles. I pickle ported them over.
I'm gonna have to shrink this for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel right now, Mark. Kind of like NyQuil when you got the sleep head. Like, one sec, I need to find us some new music. I don't know what Sash looked up to find this, but it's going through all kinds of stuff.
It was Rumiko Takahashi best openings playlist or something along those lines.
Let's just do like a general anime opening.
What?
Or anime music. This one's from 2 months ago. It should be pretty current. Oh. Man, Metal Gear music is good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I didn't see today's.
Huh?
The art countdown that they're doing for 14. I don't think I saw the day before either. Let me see.
They've had a lot of really good art for that.
Yeah, they've got the artist back that I really like. Or at least some of them are. I'm not sure if it's all the same artist.
Oh, is that Asta from Black Clover again? It does look like the way she started drawing Asta, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's been a while since I drew anyone in profile. Oh, what day are we on now?
It's like 5.
What, already? Are you kidding?
It's very soon. It's like 3 days away.
Oh, that's Heaven's Word. Let's see. Shadow Kingdoms. Is the summoner the one for today? Oh, cool. That's on Discord. Oh man, that was adorable. It was the summoner with all the dudes. Bahama in the background. Man, I love what they did with that.
Good to see a summoner getting a little bit of love.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have mostly seen the bad news about Etika today. It's It's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to do that. He had so much going for him.
I watch a lot of YouTube, but I can't say that I particularly watch stuff on YouTube so much for personalities, but Erika's definitely someone that I really enjoyed to watch.
Yeah, he seemed like a good dude.
Yeah, he's one of the few that seem like a genuinely good person. Yeah, I consider it a big loss for the social media community. He was, like I said, I can't say that I really watch too many people for, like, their personalities and such. Just not really, I can't seem to connect with much of any of them, but his style of humor and his positive vibes and everything that he put off, he genuinely struck me as a really good guy. And really entertaining, very funny to watch. Like, so bombastic and sensational and just alive. I mean, as far as, like, the way he acted, everything he did with himself, the way he carried himself, very vibrant. It's definitely unfortunate. It's one of those things in life, though. I mean, it's usually the happiest seeming people are usually the ones carrying the greatest burdens with them. It's the way a lot of people do. Generally, if someone is really positive, they usually try to not. They don't want to upset people around them or make. They don't want to add weight to the lives of those around them, so they do their best to keep up a facade and be as bright and weightlifting as possible for them. But unfortunately, usually when folks do that for too long, they end up carrying a lot of that weight on themselves, and it leads to some pretty unfortunate things. My heart's out there with his family and everything. Yeah, Dave, about a week ago, he made a video on YouTube that was his, they deleted it, of course, was him saying goodbye and everything, and he was walking around New York and talking to his audience, and then they found his stuff on the bridge there in New York, and yeah, and they found him today. It's real sad stuff. I'm wondering if Nintendo's gonna say anything on their Twitter or anything about him, because I mean, when it came to like support, man, I don't think you could get much better than Erika was at like building hype and supporting a company. In my eyes, he was kind of like the unofficial Nintendo sponsor, or like not sponsor, poster boy, really. No, I haven't yet, audio. I keep meaning to reinstall it, I just haven't gotten around to it. I think it's because we're so close to Monster Hunter that it almost seems kind of pointless for me to actually try to dig into Dauntless, because I know as soon as Monster Hunter Iceborne comes out, I'm just gonna drop Dauntless again. So anything I do between now and then would kind of be like a waste of time. I've been trying to get myself into the mindset for it, Mark. It's just, I don't know, I haven't been feeling it. I mean, it probably is a much better game than it was. Just the whole time I was playing it the first time, all I could think of was just like, I could be playing Monster Hunter. Yeah, if I do play it, it'll just be to play with you guys, I think, because I don't know, I just don't feel like I'd be able to really dig into it myself. Yeah, the Iceborne beta was really fun. They had a lot of stuff hidden in there. I was really hoping they would squeeze Nargacuga into the ancient forest, though. I went through there, though, and looked several times, and I couldn't find him, though. So if he is hidden in it anywhere, he didn't grace me with his appearance. But I think the ancient forest was pretty much set to Anjanath, Rathalos, and Jagras. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good substitute. The only thing is I tend to get burnt out on game types kind of quickly. And between now and Monster Hunter, my plan is to kind of just stay away from the genre a bit. So when Iceborne comes out, I'll actually be fresh and want to play it. If I'm playing Dauntless the whole time, then when it comes out, I'll probably feel pretty burnt out on the genre. Like with Dark Souls, like the last one I played of those was Dark Souls 3. I didn't bother with Sekiro just yet. So I've had quite a time to build up a taste for the genre again, which is great since Code Vein is coming out in August, or September rather.
Oh man, Code Vein.
But I think if I'd been on the train for Sekiro and been playing the crap out of the beta for Neo 2, that kind of stuff, if I'd played through all the Surge, that sort of thing, I probably wouldn't be nearly as excited for Code Vein. The way I've always played games, though, is I always have, like, I'll kind of binge on a genre for a little bit. A month or two, and then I'll move on to something else. Like I'll play MMOs heavily for a while, and then I'll move on to maybe fighting games, then RPGs, Dark Souls style games, sometimes racing will get thrown in there, that sort of thing. Oh, you finished it, Dave. So, are you going to start part 2? That's the question. The markings audio? I was looking pretty closely around at things, but I don't recall markings. Outside of the crap that Tigrex was doing to the environment. Or Tigrex, that's right. They're calling him Tigrex. I call him Tigrex because his Japanese name was Taiga Rex.
Yeah, like Tiger Rex.
But I think they're going with Tigrex because we here in the west side of the pond, we like to call T-Rex T-Rex. So it's T-Rex. Really, Dave? That's unfortunate to hear. I keep meaning to try and get myself back into it and grind through it, because I have heard that it gets better with the second part. Hey, Audio and Ragna, aren't you guys into Trails of Cold Steel? What's your take on the storyline? Because Dave and I have been running into it being pretty slow and kind of... There's something off about it to he and I. So I was thinking maybe if you guys... I think you guys are saying that you're veterans to the series. Maybe you'd have some insight for us. Toradora and Monster Hunter crossover.
What?
Actually, I would not be surprised if that happened.
Really? Why?
Monster Hunter has always had big collabs in the past. But if you look at the more traditional... Monster Hunter, not Monster Hunter World, but actual Monster Hunter, they've always done like anime collabs. You know, Case Closed. They also did the Metal Gear one too. But trying to think. In this one, it seems like they're going for more Western franchises. Like they got The Witcher, Assassin's Creed, all that stuff. 1 second. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Taiga would have to be a longsword user. But I gotta ask, do you think that she would be more of like a Palico costume? Because Taiga's so small, she could be her Palico. You could have the angry eyes on your own character, walking around with your Taiga Palico, getting mad at everyone around you. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Audio. Like, where do you remember it picking up for you, Audio? Like, when did Trails of Cold Steel get its hooks into you? Is kind of what we're looking for, I think. Hey, Rick, what's going on, bro? Doing pretty good. How are you doing tonight? Milo came in and beat up everything, and then he couldn't even take a nap somewhere so we could put the camera on him.
I don't know what was with him.
Oh, so it was a really slow burn for you then, huh, Audio? It's one of Sasha's favorite songs.
You were just looking at me and I was like, what's he looking at me for? Oh, it's my jam.
You're gonna have him looking at his hand?
Richard. No, he's petting his floof.
Oh, his floof? Does it go up that far?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It's a big floof.
It's been so long since I laid eyes upon old Sesshomaru.
He's got the sleeves.
All right, so you've actually been playing Legend of Heroes since way back. It's crazy how far back. I said this last time. It's crazy how far back Legend of Heroes goes. Like, it goes all the way back into the 80s, and I think the original concept for the whole series was written up at like 1977. So Legend of Heroes actually goes back. Its roots like go back further than even like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy.
He's got armor on
There were actually Legend of Heroes games on the Famicom and Super Famicom. Legend of 6-bit things. Yeah, I really want to give it a bit more effort, because I'm a big RPG guy. I mean, I'm outside of the Legend of Heroes series. It's one of the few series that I've actually just kind of slept on for all these years. I've played virtually everything that's been released since, like, the Super Nintendo era, as far as RPGs go. So it's kind of like a stain on my reputation that I haven't gotten into the Legend of Heroes series. So I think I'll keep trying, but I might do that, like what you're saying, Dave. I may go back and actually try one of the older ones. Maybe I'll see if I can hunt it down somewhere. If it's too expensive, I might have to get a ROM for it. Wait, Legend of Heroes has a mobile game too? Well, that shouldn't surprise me.
In this day and age.
Yeah, The Witcher is another one of those that was definitely a slow burn, but see, I love watch when Sasha plays it. The funny thing is she got Witcher 3 for me for my birthday, and then I swear to you guys, she pulled a Homer Simpson on me. Like, instead of getting me a bowling ball like that night, the night of, she's like, "So you haven't put it in the system yet? Can I play it?" I'm like, "Okay, I guess." And then I just decided to watch her play through most of it.
Left on top, right?
Huh?
When you're wearing like a kimono or whatever. Left on top?
I believe it's left on top.
For sure.
Don't you have references?
Yeah, but I don't. It's like a mirror.
Yeah, they actually, did you guys see that CD Projekt Red came out with they actually just came out with an article that was discussing some gameplay mechanics and such, as well as design bad habits and things that they had with The Witcher, with all their other games before Cyberpunk, that they've removed. They've looked at the whole process and reevaluated it. And they actually admitted that the combat in their older games did feel off, and they think they've discovered exactly why. Yeah, I really wanted to have more time to explore the beta for Iceborne, but I unfortunately didn't get to sit down with it nearly as much as I wanted to.
Oh, we were able to beat the monsters they gave us more than once, and you played it more than I did.
Yeah, I mean, we did do everything, but I don't know, with betas, like with what Audio's talking about, I like to dig into betas and demos, because I think developers, they love to hide stuff in them, Easter eggs and such. So I did take a couple of walks around the beta, around the new area, Hoarfrost, but I didn't get to look around it as much as I would have liked. I found myself looking at the animals mostly. Well, if you guys saw any of my videos, then you know that much. I was just stalking them because like the different animals that they added, all the different life, the Anteca, the Popo, even the bigger monsters. Like I stalked Tigrex around for quite a while, and he does some pretty interesting stuff. Like if you just toss a ghillie mantle on and just walk around with him, it's pretty enlightening. He does a lot of fun and interesting things. Like he goes around, he's got this weird relationship with Bonboro. Like he will actually roar at Bonboro, and Bonboro will turn and like stomp and roar back at Tigrex, and usually Tigrex will actually leave him alone. He doesn't really like to mess with Bonboro too much.
Bonboro was ruining his day.
Well, I noticed that Bombro is very aggressive toward Tigrex. Like, if Tigrex is there, Bombro will attack, and he will actually keep fighting until Tigrex leaves. And if Tigrex leaves, Bombro will pursue him into other areas, but Tigrex will not pursue Bombro. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Cyberpunk 2077's combat, Dave. The game looks fantastic, but it really gives me this like strong Deus Ex slash gotta be like Fallout, Elder Scrolls kind of vibe to it, which is perfect for me. Yeah, Rick, the new gestures are actually really cool.
Oh, yeah, I love them.
The LOL one is a little bit mean, though. I mean, they get, like, straight up belligerently laughing at you. I love the Kazumi, or what is it?
The Kabuki walk?
Yeah, the Kabuki walk.
Yeah, that best. Somehow, when we were going out for one of our hunts, we both had the same idea to Kabuki walk out of the camp, and we like ended up synced up. It was great.
Oh, I think I remember what you're talking about, Audio. I'm glad I was blocking. You remember when we were fighting Tigrex and Bombro in the center area, and we didn't know it yet, but the ground will completely cave in underneath of you, and it causes like a landslide into the central area below, underground. Like, that crap was crazy. Audio, myself, Sash, Tigrex, and Bombro all went down that hole. I have a feeling that Cyberpunk is probably gonna easily take Game of the Year this year. Just an opinion of mine, but considering all the hype that's around it, and CD Projekt Red being known for their narratives, their dialogue, their writing, their character building and everything, and the way the engines that they use to make their games come to life, like, I've never seen better hair to this day in a game. But they have like super high quality in like everything they do, so I'd be surprised if it didn't hit Game of the Year for 2019. Oh, that's right. Bombro did steal our kill, didn't he? Yeah, remember that?
He did.
He hunted Tigrex to his sleeping moments, and it's just like, yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, he did, because Tigrex got a lucky spin in his lair, and he took out you and Audio, and I was sitting there. I put out a healing station and had my back to the wall fighting him off, and then I see you guys coming, and then all of a sudden Bonbro comes too, so it's like, hey, the rescue crew is here. He just comes up and raffle stomps him.
Raffle stomps him.
I never thought I would actually see a monster that could bully Tigrex, and
yeah, that crap is pretty hilarious.
The funny thing is Bonbro is like a mid-boss kind of creature. He's not even a mainline creature. And here he is, picking on the flagship of, old school Monster Hunter. I haven't seen anything killed by the landslides yet, Rick. Usually we were actually running into them mostly out on the cliff, you know, where it lands you, when you're out near the water, it lands you in the feeding pit of Tigrex below. The one in the center, though, it did a lot of damage. I think it did like 1,100 to Tigrex and did like somewhere around 800, 900 to Vonborough. Yeah, audio. I saw Bombero coming. I was like, oh crap. So I put my back up and I put my back to the wall and threw my shield up, and I just hope for the best. I'm really liking Lance in Iceborne, but we went back and we played Monster Hunter World a little bit afterward, and you could tell the difference in the adjustments between Iceborne and World, because my Lances were doing okay, but not nearly as good as in the beta. Like the beta, Lance felt pristine. Like Lance felt like it finally found a perfect power area. Well, I already know that Animal Crossing is going to be getting Game of the Year for Sosh when it comes out.
As long as they do it good.
They'll be doing good. The community grows. You've been keeping up with it, right? Where they announced that any money you give to Tom Nook goes back into the community of the island.
What? I did not read that.
Yeah, they have a system now. As you pay your loan off, any money that he gets back is going to be recycled back into making improvements in the community.
Sounds like a cool system.
So I think it's going to have everything that the old games had. I think it's just going to be a matter of you actually get to build the roads, you get to build everything from scratch, you get to put everything where you want it to be.
I just don't like too much customization because it's too much.
The Clutch Claw, Rick, is actually really, really OP at the moment if you know exactly when to use it, because it does have iframes. What a lot of people were actually using it for is as Tigrex is charging directly at you, if you claw his face, or his shoulder I think it actually is, at the exact right moment, you can shoot yourself straight through him as he's running at you, and you'll just like phase right through him without any damage. I saw Lance users doing this like crazy. Like a Lance user could stay right on top of him. Right, Dave? See, Dave says there's no such thing as too much customization. That's how I feel.
Can't handle it. It's too much pressure.
She gets overwhelmed and doesn't, and she'll just like, no. And then
Too much.
she'll have me come in and be like, hey, you want to build this? You want to build... Biggest thing? You want to build my gummy ships.
Yeah.
I'm a gummy ship engineer.
Yeah, I've never been into the building of the gummy ships.
But Rick, the Clutch Claw, you actually can get hit while using it if you use it too aggressively. A monster actually can knock you off and do damage if you don't use it right, so there's a bit of a learning curve to that, but right now I would say that the Clutch Claw is definitely going to give us a pretty big advantage over the monsters. But I love customization in my games. Like, the more customization, the better. This song is a new song. It's from Shokugeki no Soma, but it has such an old anime intro feel to it.
It does a little bit.
Like, it really sounds like older stuff. You want to customize your fingernails? I wouldn't be surprised. It'd be funny if you could like go in, like the way you could take the pixel grid with your shirts. If you go in, it's like you could go into each nail and use pixels and draw pictures on them. I could see Ragnar going to every fingernail and drawing just different sets of opie on each one of them. Finger boobs. I can't wait to design some clothes and flags and wallpaper and flooring. This actually really sounds like FLCL music. That's what it reminds me of, is FLCL music. Crazy red on each finger. You could do all of his paintings on each finger. You could have the Mona Lisa on one, have Starry Sky, have all those, all the different counterfeits. Counter fingers. Could do a different Nintendo character on each finger.
Maybe he'll look less weird when he's got hair.
Do you remember what the name of said random anime was, Mark? Oh, speaking of, next week, guys, Dr. Stone begins airing, and so does Fire Force. Looking like a good new summer season opening up. I hope it is, because this season was kind of flat. There's some good stuff, but not...
There's some really good stuff, just not a lot of it.
Yeah. Oh, I used to really like anime when I was back before simulcasting, Dave. Once they brought out simulcasting, oh my god, I just became addicted. It's like, what? I can watch all the shows I want and keep up day to day on them? I got like a different show every day. No, I haven't audio. I haven't seen that one yet. If I see any music videos for anime, usually it's like if I'm watching stuff on YouTube and I just happen to look at my phone or something.
I could swear his eye makeup was more...
Ah, so you're a binger then, Dave. You like to sit down and get through it real quick. Say, screw them cliffhangers. I ain't gonna wait more than a few minutes. Well, it's good to see someone is keeping the Blu-ray market alive. I haven't bought a Blu-ray in a long time.
Let's do some hair.
I like to binge stuff. Unfortunately, if Netflix gets it, I usually have to, since their rights are silly.
What you doing, boy?
Oh, no worries, Dave. I think R-E-D-iculus is actually internet accepted these days. I see a lot more people saying it or spelling it that way than the correct way.
Ridiculous.
That and redonkulous.
20 years. All done. Forgot.
It almost looks like you're doing like... It's like One Punch Man? Because there's no hair yet.
Yeah, you need some hair. That's freaking weird.
Or maybe Piccolo. Like a softer Piccolo.
Piccolo would be fun to draw. Try some luzels. Man, I love Food Wars, but I always gotta be eating it if I'm watching, or eating something if I'm watching it. Yes.
Ah, a fellow grammar nut. You and I have a lot in common, Dave. I like you. I'm the same way. I have to police my own stuff. It kills me to not police other stuff on the internet, but I've learned that is beyond a war of futility. Especially on Reddit and Instagram. Good lord.
It's gonna look like he's got the most fabulous mullet for a second.
While we're on grammar, the funny thing is the further we get with social media, well, I say further we get, more like further down the rabbit hole we go. With like everyone shortening up words and cutting it down to just pictures now. I was an English major, and I really find it fascinating. Like, I was English major in psychology, so I love people watching and seeing how people communicate. And the internet is great because, like, people are typing a lot less and spelling out much less things, and then using emojis and icons. It's almost like we're going back to hieroglyphics. And I think it's honestly great. It's a really cool form of expression, and it's interesting the things that people can come up with just emojis. But I just can't help but think, like, sometime in the future, there's going to be another civilization after us that looks back, and they're going to find, like, tablets or our electronic devices or something, printouts, and they're going to be like, what were they trying to say? We must look at this. And it's like they're going to look through and be like, they had an obsession with vegetables and fruits. Why is there so much eggplant in the past? And all these raindrops. Did it rain constantly? Were they flooded? And peaches? Apparently their favorite fruit was peaches. Dave, if you have a Twitch, Twitch has a much quicker delay on it. It's like almost like direct conversation on Twitch if you can actually utilize Twitch. If you just look up Kittybit Games over there, we're on there. And we are streaming to both right now. I think Rags is actually watching. I think Rags and Rick are watching through Twitch.
I think audio is too. Oh wait, no, he's just got the wrench.
Crap. You said that like Rag, as soon as you said that, I looked up at the screen because the song was there, but then it disappeared the moment you said it. I think it was Black Butler. Did you see it by chance?
No. Oh, I thought you were reaching for something.
Pretty sure just about everyone knows this one. Ethiopians and Californians. That's an interesting mix. The thing with oh yeah, Mark's over on Twitch now too. But the one-to-one is actually much quicker on Twitch, so even if you just make a general one, just for the comments. I need to find a way to see if I can actually... I need to look up like how to change that face on Milo, because the fact that he's just a robot floating around down there, it kind of irks me. I want to take a picture of Milo and cut it out and just superimpose his face down there, so just his big fluffy face floats around. What are you guys' opinions on the new Pokemon, since we no longer gotta catch them all? Yeah, I've heard that Twitch is pretty quick on getting rid of the. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard of them being pretty quick to get rid of accounts that are inactive for a while. I've actually been meaning to add a couple of different channels to restream because there's a few different streaming platforms out there now. Like Periscope. Who knows about Periscope? Mixer's actually getting pretty big though. It's gonna get even bigger if, say, Dr. Disrespect moves over to there after his ban. Really, Dave? Well, that's awesome. It looks good from a graphical standpoint and from the looks of the gameplay and everything. It looks really good. I am lamenting the fact that they aren't going to let us catch all of them, but apparently there's a lore reason for that. I haven't looked into it exactly, but excuses. Welcome back, Mark. I don't know, I actually prefer Twitch over YouTube when it comes to streaming myself because, you know, YouTube has only really gotten into streaming for the past 2 years, whereas Twitch has done it. It's been their sole purpose since they, since their advent, and they've done it the longest. So they've got a lot more quality of life features, I think. I like all the mini games and stuff that you can have down in the chat to keep you busy during the stream, that kind of thing. I don't like the ads though. The ads being involuntary are a pain in the butt. Like here on YouTube, I can tell it to not advertise. That way you guys don't have commercials, because I feel the commercials cause a huge disconnect between the content creator or the streamer and the audience. Because if I'm talking to you guys, you're talking to me, and then all of a sudden a commercial pops up, I think that's really invasive. I don't like it. And then once the commercial happens, you're now several seconds lost or behind. But I do think the commercials, I think they hit all channels at once. Like, I think if, like, all you guys are watching, if you're all on Twitch, I think you all get a commercial at the same time. Sesshomaru, Sesshomaru. Ah, now he's starting to look like Sesshomaru. I was about to call him Sasage home. Yep, you got it, Mark. This is Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is actually getting up there in years, isn't it? 7 years old now? And they still haven't finished it? But, I mean, you can't really use time as any kind of a quantifier for anime or manga. I mean, look at Berserk. Ongoing. 25 years later. It's a really good series, Mark. The internet is kind of going ham on it right now because of a lot of anti-Semitic sort of undertones and such. A lot of references to past wars, oppression, Nazi Germany, the more oppressive years of Japan's rule, a few things in there. But in many ways, to me, it doesn't really strike me as... It's not like the mangaka is trying to be a proponent of that kind of behavior. In a lot of ways, it's kind of showing that there's consequences to behaving like that. But I haven't really read all the way up on the manga, though, so there might be a lot of things that I'm missing there, so I can't really say I'm giving an educated opinion.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what people are talking about, but...
It's got a lot of deep, hidden meaning to it, and you can tell it's really well thought out, and it digs really deep into the emotions and the darkness that lies within everyone. Hey, Potato, what's going on? How have you been?
Hello.
It's good to see you. Yeah, I think you'll like it a lot, Mark. The arcs are pretty... They can be really cliffhangery, but luckily you're coming in a little bit late, so you can actually have the benefit of skipping a lot of those really crazy cliffhangers. So, Potato, what have you been playing lately, bro? And as far as the conversation, we were just chatting over some Shingeki no Kyojin. Tell you one thing, no matter what anyone says, the Sawano music soundtrack in Attack on Titan fits it flawlessly. Is it not even letting you make a new account, Dave? You might need to delete the app entirely and maybe re-download it. Oh, you're on PC? Huh. Maybe it might be an IP issue? Do you happen to run any kind of a VPN, Dave? Because if you have a VPN, you may want to turn it off if it's on, or maybe turn it on if it's off. See, now I gotta admit, I'm not a very big fan of the Black Clover anime myself. I see it has a lot of potential. I kind of gave up on it early on, so if you guys like it, it's nothing against you. I just couldn't get into it. But I gotta admit, the art is really cool, and the music they have for the series is excellent. Like this song, Black Rover, not Black Clover, Black Rover by Vicky Blanca. If you guys want to hear some good chorus action, put on some headphones, throw this song on. It sounds awesome in your ears. What?
It sounds awesome in your ears. As opposed to sounding awesome in your eyes, you know?
Yeah, in your eyes. Or in your mouth. This song is so good I can taste it.
Yeah, some people be like that.
Oh, that sounds like fun, Potato. I love graduation parties. Graduation parties, sometimes wedding parties, birthday parties. Get a lot of those. Can't say I'm a huge party person, but I do enjoy parties.
Yeah, I guess it depends on whose party it is. If your idea of a party is like everybody brings their Switch and plays and stuff, then that's my kind of party. But if we're just talking large groups of people and nobody can hear each other, it's not my kind of party.
You too, Dave? You're talking Black Clover, right? I think we got about, 4 or 5 episodes in?
It was maybe 3 or 4.
Asta's screaming just, it had been a long time since a character grated on me like Asta did. I've heard, though, that later on in the series he does mature and gets past it. But my question is, how long do I have to deal with it? Yeah, it seemed pretty... My thing was, it seemed really predictable from the get-go, and it was like such... It seemed almost blatantly like we're just going to take Naruto, Harry Potter, and we're going to slap them together. But I have seen a lot of good stuff, a lot of different aspects from later on in the series video clips that have me intrigued and interested in giving it another shot. The funny thing is, Potato, I've got a very small family myself, but I've got a couple of friends with very large extended families, and they generally don't want to go to their family parties without company, so they'll be like, Roy, Sasha, come on. Got a birthday party this week. We just had a birthday party this week. Okay. Let's go. Meet all these people that we don't know. Oh yeah, King of Iconic here. This is my favorite anime of all time. Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann's good stuff.
Yeah, that was a big problem with me for it, Dave, is there was really, like, it felt cookie cutter. Like, there was no unique attributes. Now, I do love that art style. The art style in it is really cool.
Is his hair smooth or is it not? Rumiko, help.
Yeah, I could watch Gurren Lagann, like, endlessly. It was an example of just what a great anime should be, in my opinion. The characters were all incredibly unique. Their personalities were all so far varied and defined from one another. The new Samurai Showdown actually looks pretty good. I really hope they have the classic Samurai Showdown embedded in the game somewhere. I can feel you there, Potato. Usually we'll go and we'll mingle and interact with our friends that are there, and maybe a couple of other people if they come and get involved. Like if they push their way into our space, we can adapt and be social with those people. But, well, you can too.
I'm so awkward.
She's not that bad, guys. Don't let her fool you.
No, I totally am.
Yeah, Dave, I've always been pretty kind of on the wall or on the fence about mecha, but there are a few cases where I can really get behind it. Gurren Lagann was one. Of course, Gundam. I mean, Gundam wouldn't be Gundam without the giant robots.
Wait, you're on the fence about giant robots? Is there something that you don't like about giant robots?
Well, it's not so much things that I don't like about them. It's the way that the anime industry has been portraying them in the past, like, decade or so. because you can tell that the giant robot anime, or the giant robot genre itself, is hurting. Like, the audience just isn't there for it anymore. So when they throw them in, a lot of the times you can tell that it's just forced. Like, they just feel they have to do it, like, out of some tradition or something. Like, they can't let giant robots die. So whenever they do throw them in, unless it's Trigger doing it, because they did really well with SSS Gridman, and then, they did Gurren Lagann as well. But when other groups do giant robots, I can't get into it. I don't know, it's like they're just an afterthought. Oh, I missed something there. What's free on PSN for a limited time? I like free. Why do I not have my iPad open so I can read the chat when it goes past the window?
The season pass?
Hey, our channel art's finally showing up on our Google account now. It was like...
Was it not?
I don't know what is wrong with Google, but they, take forever to update your account. Let's see. Oh, the Samurai Showdown Season Pass? Oh, since you're a collector of DVDs and everything like that, Dave, do you have the one Gurren Lagann collection that has it's the gunman's face as the box and the mouth opens up to reveal all the DVDs inside? It was an extensive collector's edition for the whole series. It was like 5 discs. It wasn't Blu-ray though. Man, I really want to try Judgment. Because I don't want to end up falling behind on that series like with Yakuza. Collector's edition stuff for Gurren Lagann is actually pretty hard to find. It's about as difficult to find as good figures. Quite an elusive thing for Gurren Lagann, which is weird since how it was so popular. I'm trying to remember. Wasn't the first arcs of Gurren Lagann? It was produced or published rather by Pioneer Geneon. I know the first companies that published it over here in the West are now defunct. So I'm thinking Pioneer or Geneon, which is kind of the same thing. Oh, this is Grimgar.
Well, that was really good.
Yeah, it was. If you guys haven't seen Grimgar, this is a really good anime. It's only 12 episodes long, but man, it was a really good one. They took the whole fantasy trope, starting off as young adventurers in a town and growing up, leveling up, getting out of it, and growing into kind of heroes. They took it and they turned it on its head by making it actually quite realistic. Like, every time they went out and fought goblins or the small monsters they were fighting, there was the big risk. There were big risks of them getting gravely hurt, death. They were having trouble making money because they couldn't get strong enough to beat the quests they were taking. So they were living kind of in poverty together, and it was actually is actually a really interesting take on it. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it. Ceremonia Chocobo, is that the one where you gotta do commendations audio? Oh no, that's the wedding one, isn't it? Sasha and I keep meaning to do the ceremony so we can get the ring and all the items, but we haven't gotten around to it.
Is that one that you get for the free version, or do you gotta pay for the chocobo? Isn't there one with a horse too?
I think so. There's a bunch of different tiers that are kind of expensive. Yeah, it was actually pretty similar to Goblin Slayer Ragna, but I think it might have actually been a bit more realistic than Goblin Slayer, because with Goblin Slayer, there was still kind of the threat of them getting hurt and everything, but after a while, you could see that the characters are growing to a point where they weren't... I don't know, the tension kind of eased up in Goblin Slayer over time. In Grimgar, it's pretty much there the whole time. Like, every episode is like a struggle. Oh, Audio says you gotta pay the top tier for the mount, and there is no horse.
How people getting that, like... It looks like the Pegasus mount, but it's got some feathers and stuff going on. I don't know what else it's got, and it's really big. I don't know if it's a pillion or not.
Yeah, Dave, as far as Gurren Lagann figures, it is really difficult to find a good one. They're starting to release more nowadays, though, oddly. 10 years later. More than 10 years. But, like, they've got the Nendroids out now. They've just released, Simone just came out. I hope they do the King. The Spiral King. He was one of my favorite characters in the whole series. I love the Spiral King. He and his gunman just had some of the coolest designs. Audio says you might be talking about the Mentor horse.
Oh, is that how you get that? It's just a big Pegasus with some feathery, fancy stuff.
Yeah, if you want some of the best figures, Dave, interestingly enough, some of the best figures are actually the Garage Kit figures. I don't know if you're familiar with E0247 or E0246. I get these things mixed up because dyslexia. One sec.
When I was doing that logo, I was playing with this. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, forget that.
I'll find it real quick. But there's a site for garage kits that are actually really, really well done, and one of them in particular is considered to be the very best Tengen Toppa figure out there. Let me find it here. E2046.com. They have garage kits there. You can actually get... Usually it's like they take the molds of all the latest ones, and yeah, the great... That figure by Kotobukiya was really good for Kamina.
Let me see.
But you can actually get a lot of the figures out there really, really cheap via this method. They're called garage kits because they take the actual molds from the manufacturers and they send you the parts. They're unpainted usually. You can get them painted though. But they can send you the parts, and you can, like, those gray prototypes that you see, or the white prototypes that you see on display, you can get them from this site as well. And you can get them for like really, really cheap. Like a figure that generally will run you like $130, $140 painted, you can get in gray or white scale for like $20.
Yep, audio, that was the one. The one you sent in Discord. So that's a mentor mount?
Goblin Slayer and MHIB? My acronyms are failing me.
Iceborne?
Oh yeah. Is it?
I don't know.
Actually, that would...
Monster Hunter Iceborne.
You know what? No, I think you're right. That would actually be, like, with older Monster Hunter, that would be an anime collab I would totally expect to see Monster Hunter take on, would be the Goblin Slayer armor. Do a sword and shield set for him.
Yeah, I'd be so afraid to mess up.
There is one Gurren Lagann figure on there that's actually Tengen Toppa universe mode Gurren Lagann. Dave, that's actually like, it's been out of stock forever. I've been on the wish list for it forever, but you can go onto YouTube and they actually have videos of people unboxing it and putting it together. It's like a 20-inch statue. The flames are transparent green, and they painted it so beautifully. It's like, it would be one of my all-time favorite figures if I could actually get my hands on it. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I definitely put the quality up there. I've been a mentor for a couple years now, but I'm as, like, basic a mentor as you can get. I can't do the mentor roulette.
Do you just have to be a mentor to get the mount?
No, you have to actually do 2,000 duties through mentor roulette, because when you become a mentor, a complete mentor, which requires, it requires you have completed all extreme duties, all extreme raids, everything. Like, pretty much everything on the board, you have to have completed it.
Scary.
I've got, like, the most basic mentor status. I'm probably going to lose it, though, here in the next month, because they're doing the changes.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't really care, because they got, what is it called? There's a stigma with having mentor status, because so many jerks are mentors now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, generally, if someone sees you wearing the crown, what we're talking about, guys, is in Final Fantasy XIV, you can become a mentor once you've done a certain amount of stuff. And you can put a crown next to your name, so if anyone has any questions, if they see the crown, they should be able to ask you questions. Hey, JC, what's going on, man? Been a while. You doing good out there? But, unfortunately, Final Fantasy XIV tends to have a bit of a toxic community, and
It's been better lately.
it has been better, but they changed. That's because, guys, don't get us wrong, that's because they changed the terms of service. It got so bad that Square had to change the terms of service to say, if you're a jerk, you get banned. So people can report you for even the smallest of things and get you banned, which the community has been looking better. So many people were getting the mentor crown because you get bonuses, like you get a new roulette, you get there were a bunch of other different incentives, and people were getting it for that and then being jerks. So that's the stigma that goes with it. Hey, Pokepuff, what's going on? Over on Mixer. Says it's looking good already.
Oh, thank you.
Don't recognize the name. If you're new to the stream, then welcome to Kittybit. I hope they make being a mentor a little bit easier to get, because you really, to get a proper mentor status, you kind of have to do all the elitist stuff in the game. So yeah, compared to a lot of the communities, Rag, it is relatively not toxic.
Yeah, even at its worst, it probably didn't compare to a lot of the like shooter types.
Oh, well, thank you for the follow, Pokepuff, and welcome to our
Thank you.
humble little family. Really, we just like to chat and listen to music, and Sasha here does all the art. Because if I get into it, it gets a little bit... It takes forever. Too long.
Looks beautiful, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But, yeah, welcome. But yeah, Final Fantasy XIV's community is getting better. Hopefully, soon the mentor status won't be viewed as something that's a bad thing. But if you look at like communities like forums and such, most people will be like, yeah, as soon as I see the mentor crown, I automatically think of that person as a jerk and ignore them. I was like, man. Because I went for the crown because by the time I went for it, they'd already gotten rid of most of the incentives, and I just wanted to help some people out. But then I got the crown, and it was like all of a sudden people were treating me different. I was like, what's going on? And then, yeah, turns out it's like the mark of the damned kind of thing.
That's sad.
The scarlet letter, or the scarlet crown, I guess you could call it.
Forgive me, Anna, this is really close.
Oh, one sec, guys. I'm trying to catch up on the chat here. I just noticed my Roya's Geostigma. Man, sorry I missed that, Ragna. My chat was lagging. That's weird. Oh, good to hear you're getting a break, JC. 8 to 12. That's rough. I hope your crunch time ends here pretty soon and you get a chance to chill in game like you want to. Audio, I think if you're actually a trade mentor, I think you will get a lot of text, like people will actually ask you questions, because that's what I was kind of hoping. When you get on mentor though, you get into mentor chat, but mentor, well, that's the novice chat. It's basically a chat that like all new players can access, so they can ask mentors questions. And that's where all the toxicity came from, is people would ask questions and there were a bunch of elitist jerks in there. Oh, well, thank you for the kind words, Pokepuff. We appreciate you. But I mean, the channel wouldn't really be anything without all of our great followers here, our internet family, as we call them, the litter. Without you guys to chat with, I mean, the art would still be here, which is great, but Sash wouldn't really have any need for me. Thanks to you guys, I've got purpose. Alrighty, Dave. It was a pleasure chatting with you as always. We'll see you next time. Take it easy and sleep well.
Man, I wish. I love this song.
I wish they would do more Noragami. It was a really underrated anime.
It was good.
You don't want to get pooped on, Ragnar? Not that kind of litter. That is kind of unfortunate though, isn't it? Like, who thought to name like cat litter litter? Like, litter of babies or litter that you poop in. It's like, who made this stuff up? Yeah, Noragami was... Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Noragami was actually really good. We watched through both seasons. Had really good music, really good style, and I don't know, it was just one of those that for some reason it didn't seem to catch on in the mainstream. So maybe we can hope for a comeback sometime later on. Pickles are banned everywhere. It's a good thing that we live in the middle of nowhere. Well, we're actually pretty close to Dallas, but still.
Yeah, I'd say this is pretty nut country.
We're not in the country. What you saying?
I mean, I wish.
What's all that green I see when I look out the window?
Trees.
Oh, we just got one tree and it's real close to the window. Oh, I thought that was country. Our guild, can you call it that? What are they called in Monster Hunter? Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Our squad in Monster Hunter is called the Kitty Bit Litter. I'm probably gonna just make it litter though.
I like the kitty bit lit.
Hey, Denzel, what's going on? You're another new name tonight. Are you new to the stream as well? If so, then welcome, and we're glad to have you. Yeah, Audio, I noticed that they're up to 16 million and almost 17 million subscribers. I think Final Fantasy 14 is rated, I think it's the top the top MMORPG right now, right up there with WoW.
They totally deserve it.
The funny thing is, you guys saw that the new expansion just hit for WoW. So it's going to be the new expansion for WoW and Shadowbringers competing directly with each other. Oh, Audio's quest is to save you and the Kotats? He's got to get both of you? Is the Kotats the treasure of the quest? PewDiePie. It made me choke on my pickle rags.
What about PewDiePie now?
He said he summons Mercy and PewDiePie.
What?
I wouldn't even know what to do if someone like PewDiePie dropped into the chat. Like, I get that some of the bigger YouTubers out there do that from time to time. I don't know how I would possibly react to it, though. I'd probably react like, I don't think I'd be able to believe it, honestly. I just like, that's fake. Fake. I would like to see Mercy, though. We haven't seen Mercy in quite a while, and this picture is actually her request, so...
Yep.
I should have sent her a DM before the stream. I was meaning to. I just forgot.
That would have been a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Oh no, Denzel, you lost your account? What happened? Did someone hack it, or... Because if it's just, like, if you just lost your information, you can actually get a hold of Square's support team, and while they are a pain in the butt to work with, you can usually get that kind of stuff figured out. Pickles are bad, I don't care. Oh, can you hear them? Can you hear the pickles, Ragnar? They're so good. Oh man, Audio, I think I would be far more humbled if Yoshi P were to drop into the chat than even PewDiePie.
Yoshi P.
Be like, my god, Senpai has noticed us!
I would be just completely speechless.
Ragnar, don't make me get up on this microphone with some good pickle chewing. I'm like 2 feet away from the microphone. How can you even hear that?
Man, that microphone is crazy.
Hey, Milo, what's up, bud? You want to tell everyone hi? Milo's here, but he's just being a creeper right now.
He's doing a thing before he starts bellowing.
Ragna has set off my trap card. The pickle jar.
No.
These pickles are actually kind of interesting.
Oh.
So, they're just called barrel pickles. And they're not exactly dill pickles. They're not gherkins either. They're like sour and sweet at the same time. It's like, I don't know, maybe they pickled them with sugar or something, or pickled sugared lemon? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know the process, but it's interesting. Sweet and sour.
I can't handle sweet pickles. Nope.
I wish they would do that audio. If we could get some props from Final Fantasy XIV in here
Props?
for Face Rig.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean, you could even just give me the most basic of stuff, like a pod helm or something. Or give us like some artifact armor.
He's just walking by and wrecking everything.
Yeah, like, what is up, Milo? He's like trying to
Almost-
destroy our stuff.
Almost unplugged the tablet, knocked down the iPad. Jeez. The carnage.
I'm gonna
buddy.
put some pickle juice on your nose, Milo.
Oh. He gonna remember that.
Oh, but yeah, Denzel, if you lost your account, even if it was hacked, if you call Square, I think they have a live chat option now that you can utilize. But it can take a little while, but usually they're pretty good about helping people. Man, I've been wanting some chicken nuggets bad lately, Ragna. I don't know why. Maybe it's you. Maybe you've planted that seed in the back of my mind that was just like, it'll just bloom one day and all of a sudden I'm gonna be like, chicken nuggets. I need some chicken nuggets. Do you guys know of any places that have like grilled chicken nuggets? Is that a thing? I'm pretty sure it
Maybe,
is
like,
somewhere.
Grilled chicken strips or something?
Yeah, I remember I used to have to call them when I was playing Final Fantasy XI audio, I used to call Square Enix to get some help. Even if I just forgot my password, it would take like all frickin' day to get through the waits.
Them DPS cubes.
Oh, the frogs are multiplying as always, Ragna. Always. Oh, you think Wendy's might have grilled ones?
Mark says he grills his nuggets.
I grill my nuggets. I'm one of those people that everyone looks at really weird as they pick the breading off of their chicken nugget to reveal the, like 1 centimeter of chicken core in the middle of all the breading. But yeah, I usually don't eat. I like fried foods, but I don't know. I'll still pull the fried stuff off. Grill some opie, so we're gonna go get some chicken breast and grill it. Because we don't grill no real opie around these parts. Those are sacred. Oh, I like the coloring he did for his eyes. Because I think with Sesshomaru, one of his most striking features is his eyes.
Yeah. And gold eyes are fun. I really like drawing like brown eyes because they've got in the sun like pretty caramel bronze kind of colors in them.
Yeah, if you got like hazel eyes, in the right light, they can actually look red.
Yeah, that's nice too.
Bible Black taught you to do it.
What?
That's the kind of grilling of old pie that we don't want to advertise around here. Oh, you can hear you coloring. That splash of green right there actually looks decorative.
Yep, it's going away.
It's like he's got one of those Bluetooth headsets in. the over-the-ear Bluetooth. It's so he can
hear us.
It's so he can call Inuyasha and harass him. So he doesn't even have to go find him anymore. He just calls him.
It's like his whole function in the series just shows up and is a jerk to Inuyasha, maybe beats him up, and he leaves.
Well, he's his rival. He's what?
Ain't they bros?
He's what what brothers can't be rivals? That's like the origin story of rivalry is brotherhood.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a brother, and I wouldn't really call him my rival, but.
But you're not his brother. It's kind of like it's like an old school dude trope. Well, I call it a trope, but that stuff exists. I mean, that.
Oops.
You have a younger brother, and you're an older brother. But usually, he's gonna try to hunt you down at some point for something. Either he's trying to catch your high scores in your favorite games, he's trying to beat you in sports, trying to get better grades than you. I mean, that's like classic rivalry there. With Sesshomaru and Inuyasha, it was just a matter of being, demon and half demon, because Sesshomaru was pure demon, so he felt he was superior to Inuyasha in every way. Yes, Ragnar, we are brothers, and our rivalry is for blades with best opie in Xenoblade. That blade gotcha. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have me well beat in that. I didn't get nearly all of them. Something I regret to this day. Oh, you did get Cosmos, didn't you? I forgot. You actually told me that you got her. How long did it take you to get her? Like, I've heard of people having some wicked luck with her and actually getting her on their first or second draw, like in the first chapter. Opie Rivals for 3. Yeah, I remember I had just beaten the game and I was going back and I was farming legendary cores to start farming up all the blades. Oh man, this soundtrack's actually on point. It's got a lot of good stuff. Don't forget me. Oh, Audio was one of those that had the crazy RNG.
man. Oh, Milo.
Why you do this? As soon as the JoJo music starts playing, Milo goes up and lays in front of the TV and is looking right at the TV. Guess it's his jam.
He knows he's not supposed to be up there.
I really want to go back and actually beat Torna. I still haven't played it. I don't see how Milo can sit up in front of our TVs though. Like the PlayStation 4 is right below him, on the shelf right below him, which heats up that shelf. And regardless of the fact PS4s have space all around them, they still heat up an area like they're like a friggin' space heater. It's ridiculous. But it's heating up the shelf under him, and he's in front of the TV, which is hot because it's an LED, and LED TVs put off a lot of heat. So he's just sitting there, like, looking at JoJo. It's like, that's real fandom right there. It's got to be like 90, 95 degrees in that spot he's sitting.
Dedication. Done these before the hair.
Do his stripe? I can't remember. His stripes come from the back of his jaw? They don't come from like the bottom down here up to here? I mean, I could be wrong. I haven't seen anything Inuyasha in a long time, but
I think that's legit from the anime.
oh, you're right. Okay, they do come from back. Oh, you know what? I think I'm thinking of every other dog or cat person out there. I'm mainly thinking of what's her face from Breath of Fire 2, the cat chick.
Dang, I'm gonna have to redo this hair.
For real, Mark. We don't even actually use the heat very much in the winter here.
Yes, I need.
Because for one, it's Texas. You know, we get like 50, 40 degree weather, and that's our winter. But when we have the computer going, the TV's on, and the PlayStation's 4s.
The police station.
I don't know where we have the PlayStation 4s going. It gets warm in here. It's like it's hot. It's like we might as well have a bonfire going in front of us. Oh, Death Parade. This is one of my favorite Japanese bands of all time, Radio. I love and adore them.
The anime was so good too.
Yeah, Death Parade was really good. I really wish it would have gone past more than 12 episodes.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was a great look at the human condition.
Started out and I was like, kind of but man, it got really good.
It was almost like a more subtle Danganronpa. Like, people put into these really intense situations that's basically a choice. Their choices are like life and death between them and the people around them. It wasn't all crazy and bombastic like Danganronpa, but that's one of the things it had going for it. And one of the best intros ever. So what kind of music are you guys all into? I like just about everything, but I am particularly in the neighborhood. I like disco. I love disco and old style, like blues, rock, house, that kind of stuff. New alternative rock, heavy metal and such, I really like that as well, but man, can I get into some disco. Actually, Mark, that's kind of my hope, is that Milo's going to absorb a little bit of the heat, because it's kind of warm in here, and I'm hoping he keeps it cool. Maybe if the heat can't get past him, it won't get to us. He's taking one for the team.
Soaking it up.
It looks like he's having a dang good nap, though.
Yeah. As far as music, I'm just a huge nerd. I just listen to video game soundtracks and electronic all the time.
Electronic is
Occasional rock.
good. Electronic is good. Really get behind some Daft Punk.
It's good to work out.
Chemical Brothers, Crystal Meth, all that. It's pretty good fan art they have for this song, actually. I like the bottles in the background.
Yeah, those look like they were hard to do. And the stained glass.
When it comes to art, like, light sources just baffles me.
Yeah, where's the light source? I don't know. Nobody ever knows. Well, clearly some people do. And they've mastered it. And they're brilliant and everything. But I sure don't know where the light is coming from. Ever.
So are you just gonna leave the green thing on his ear?
Oh, sure. No.
I was gonna say, I don't think that was there. But I was wrong about the stripes.
Why is the has no.
I am not familiar with this anime, but I have heard all the music for it, and it's pretty good.
I've not heard the music. I don't know what it is.
Koi to Uso? Love and...
Lies.
Yeah, is it Love and Lies?
Yeah.
It's Love and something. Hopefully Mercy gets to see this piece. I hope
Yeah,
everything's
so.
going well with her. She's really busy though. Like she's a chef by occupation, I believe. That comes with quite a bit of traveling. Seems like a really cool job to have though. Like if you could just travel the world and cook.
It seems exhausting, but you'd probably get to eat some good stuff.
Oh, is some of the healers that Mercy? I would say Mercy's more of like a warrior with the banhammer.
I'm wetting at the drawing, not what y'all are saying. That should have been behind everything. Here we go.
The Genji. Are you gonna be putting his sword into it?
Nope, that's down there. No weapons.
She doesn't like to draw weapons. I'm surprised his spiked shoulder pad is there, to be honest.
I'm very bad at them. It's for the best. Hands too.
Where'd his hand go? You had a hand there.
Yep, nope, it looked bad. I killed
So we're just gonna do a profile?
it. Yeah.
Well, that works, I mean.
He's boring like that anyway. That's what he does. He just stands there and looks pretty and it's mean.
So are you going to do, like, the classic cherry blossoms behind him? Like a big whoosh of cherry blossoms? Like on the wind? It's riding the wind?
I suppose it could. Let's see, what are the other people doing? I really like this one. That background is crazy.
That's a pretty fitting image, Mark. Mercy with Reinhardt's hammer.
Yep, that's about right.
Precision German engineering.
Except she's Korean, though, right?
Precision Korean engineering. She comes in and uses the shield to block us from trolls, and then the hammer to get rid of them. Reinhardt was one of my favorites on Overwatch, but I could never get really good with him. I was best with Zenyatta and what's her name? Zarya. Yeah. Zarya and Zenyatta were my two big characters. I love to play with Junkrat, and I could get a whole lot of kills, but he kind of felt like he was easy mode, a little bit on the OP side. It's been a while since I played, though. He's got a lot of patches since back then. But oh man, I loved playing Zarya. Like, you could save so many bad situations by using Zarya.
I like playing Roadhog.
Yeah, Sash liked using Roadhog's hook to bring people in and chew them up. I really love the aesthetic of Reaper, and I like the idea of him, but I can never get good with him. I've got a lot of friends that were really good with him, though. But for some reason, I could never get into the feel of him. I think I just don't have the right mindset for his type of play. The whole teleport and gore everyone kind of play. It was really fun to watch. I loved watching other people play Reaper. Like, the different things they would come up with. Like, different places to teleport or ways to ambush people. I always thought that was really cool to watch. It's like watching a ninja set up for things. Roadhog was a fat scorpion, pretty much. Get over here. I remember when there was an enemy Roadhog, I would always be on the lookout for him, because he'd always grab our healers, like Zenyatta or someone like that. So I'd always, as soon as I heard him and I saw one of our healers get grabbed, I would use Zarya's shield and throw it on the healer right when they're getting into his face, so he can't do his little two-piece shotgunner action on him.
Yeah, I generally only grab people I knew I could kill in one shot, or if I had backup. But I mean.
Well, he used to be able to kill everyone, almost everyone, with one or two shots, but that's why I would throw the shield on him.
I'll be right back.
How is the new Mortal Kombat? I've heard it's been having some server issues lately. I like the way this is looking. When she comes back, I'll have to tell her that maybe she should go with like a monotone thing. I think if she kept this like mostly black and white, but kept the stripes red and his eyes gold, it would have a lot of impact on the overall picture. I like monochrome pictures. Like black and white, and then certain features are a striking color, like red, gold, makes it stand out from the rest of it. Kind of like a noir kind of aspect or feel to it. Oh, Jingo Jungle. This one's for Yujo Senki. Let's see. Tanya. Tanya the Evil, I think, was the Western title. This was a really good anime. I liked the movie that came out recently too.
Having any luck with the fluff?
I didn't even try. I didn't know what tools I had or anything.
Oh, like, I like this one. I wish it were round though, because it looks too flat.
I was just thinking you should keep it monochrome.
Yeah.
Like do his dark colors in black or gray and then white for the other colors and keep it like this, and then that will make his striking colors like the eyes and the stripes stand out.
Oh, you lost me.
Like his darker colors should be black, gray.
Which ones?
Like have it be pretty monochrome, like all black, gray, and white, except for his eyes and his stripes. Kind of like a noir sort of look. That's kind of what you're on the verge of here, and it looks good, is what I'm saying.
That's not accurate though. His kimono doesn't look like that.
Okay, that was just a recommendation.
Let's see.
Just could be an interesting take on his art. I know his kimono is quite colorful.
Yeah, it's like white and red, if I remember correctly.
Something like that. You're the one that's got the references. Because he's got that, yeah, it's white and then red on the collar. For the cherry blossoms. Oh, don't forget you want to include oh, you got it there somewhat, you just didn't color it.
Oh, yeah, oops.
The moon on his forehead.
Oh, forgot it. What color is that? It's like purple?
Yeah, there's not really too much time but at the moment to get into new stuff. Because once Shadowbringers, I'm mixing the titles again. Once it comes out, it's gonna be a kind of a feverish grind to level 80. For at least me, I'm gonna try to get up to 80 as quick as possible. So once they release I think the new currency is actually gonna be released about a month in for the new gear. What is it? The white scripts for gathering and crafting, and then the new tombstone is Apocrypha or something like that. I don't know, but I think it's like a month after. I'm hoping that'll be enough time to get Warrior up to 80, maybe Summoner to 80, and I've definitely got to get at least one Crafter and one Gatherer to 80 so I can start gaining the scripts. And yeah, it's gonna be bonkers, Mark. I'm hoping there's not too many technical issues after they start. This is the 3rd expansion, so I'm hoping they've learned some good lessons. Oh, this was a good song too.
Good anime.
Yeah, 7 Deadly Sins was actually really quite good. Potato, yes. Borscht. Yes, I have had it. It's a great winter food. Have you had borscht?
I don't know what it is.
Actually, he put a description here, so I don't have to recall it. Red tinted stew with either beef, chicken, garlic, herbs, potatoes. The color comes from the beets.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Seven Deadly Sins was one of those that was so good that we couldn't wait for Netflix to do their crappy little, we've got to wait until after the whole season comes out, then license it, and then dub it, and then release it crap. So we actually did go to pirate sites and watched it on there. I really hope Netflix gets around that, though, eventually and starts doing simulcasts like, other modern streaming companies. Sounds good, Potato. I'm someone who I love to eat those kind of foods, but I'm really big on eating seasonal foods in their season. So like stews, soups, like ramen and such. It's hard for me to get into them in the summertime because of the heat. However, we actually have a ramen joint around here that the guys in it. This place is a really like small noodle stand kind of place. It's all standing room. You just go up and you stand there and you order and you eat right at the bar from their noodles from their bar they're at. They are extremely into noodles. Like they are fanatics, and that's why they're really good. But they always get on to me about that when I tell them, like, because they've asked me before, like, we see you in the winter, but why don't we see you in the summer much? And I tell them it's too hot, and they're like, no, if you have a real love for noodles, you'll appreciate them even more in the summer while you're sweating, because you'll actually be working to eat the noodles. All right, Audio, take care. We'll see you later.
Night.
Oh yeah, we'll be seeing you early access.
Oh yeah.
We'll still be doing stuff beforehand too. We got a bit of catching up on a few things.
I'm mad crafting.
I wish I could say that, Mark. I want to eat things in the summer and I give it a try, but I'm really sensitive to like the heat in a lot of ways, and man, I'll be eating hot stuff in the summertime, and whew, it starts killing me. Oh yeah, if you're into ramen, these guys are so there are a couple of local guys that were actually going to school at the same school I went to. I ran into them a couple times, and that's how we know each other. And these guys actually went and got their culinary licenses, and they went to Japan and lived in Japan for like 4 years, worked at the ramen stands there all over different places in the country, learned all sorts of different techniques. Like they learned the southern noodle techniques, the northern noodle techniques, cold noodles, hot noodles, pretty much udon. What's the other one? There's ramen, udon, and then what? Soba.
Oh,
yeah, soba. Learned everything they could, and then brought it all back to the States. And they just have this little humble stand down on the west side of Dallas, and it's awesome. Easily the best ramen I'd say in Texas, in my opinion. Mark's looking for advice to spice up his ramen. So, are you asking for like variety, Mark, or are you actually wanting to make that stuff burn you, like spicy? Because Sash can do either one of those.
Yeah, if it's like spicy, you can get rayu. It's like spicy oil. It's good stuff.
Rayu?
Yeah, it's like spicy oil. I think you can. I don't know if they have it at like regular grocery stores, but if you got like a specialty store somewhere.
It's called Ten Ramen. Just TEN. Potato.
Oh yeah, they're my favorite. Stand and only.
Yeah, it's right over there. If you're familiar with Dallas, it's right over off the edge of Oak Cliff, west side of Dallas, on Fort Worth Avenue. The proprietors are the guys that open the place, and they also do all the cooking and running the place. Just a couple of guys that are just, they've been best friends since school, and they found their love of ramen together, and have just basically been going around learning how to make it, and pretty much being the best in Dallas. At least Dallas.
And there's a lot of great ramen places to eat. Ten's my favorite.
Mark says anything, any flavor and ingredients. So what would be some of your suggestions?
Usually in my ramen, I like the what do you call it? It's not pickled, but like marinated egg, and
Oh, like the little eggs that you can get in those tiny cases?
it's like onsen tamago. Then you kind of soft boil it and marinate it in like soy sauce and sake and some other stuff. Medium probably. I forget all the ingredients. Those are good. And chashu is good.
Yeah,
Some
chashu is
pork.
really good. Pork belly.
Put some corn in there, some nori.
If you want a good cheap ingredient, might be a little bit hard to get unless you have an Asian market near you, Mark. But there's always Naruto.
Oh yeah, the fish cakes.
Yeah, those are the fish cakes that come in like a. It comes in a little like cylinder shaped loaf, and you cut them into little discs. They're the little discs with the swirl in it.
Oh, it may sound weird, but I really like cream in my ramen.
Yeah,
Cream and
cream and miso, definitely. If you can get some miso too, miso adds a lot to the flavor. I like bok choy. I like baby bok choy in mine. Preferably because the texture. It's got a good bit of crunchy at one end with a lot of flavor to it. It gets a little bit more lettucey toward the end. So it gives you two pretty good textures. And
green onions are good in there too.
very flavorful. Yeah, beef and green onions are awesome.
Oh yeah, and beef. There's one place that we go to a lot just because it's really close to us. That their chashu has like a barbecue kind of flavor to it. So you could maybe put brisket in there and that could be pretty good.
Yeah, smoked meats. You can definitely use smoked meats. Trying to think of some. Oh, for mushrooms, I like. If you like it more sweet, you want to go for like shiitake. If you want more savory, there's like the baby. What are those? Those mushrooms.
The stringy ones or?
Yeah, the stringy ones.
Enoki?
Enoki? Yeah, enoki mushrooms. Those are really good. A lot of people, the enoki mushrooms are really stringy. They're almost like noodles. A lot of people who are on carb restricted diets will actually take large amounts of enoki mushrooms and use that as noodles because the texture of them is really, really similar to noodles. So you can use enoki mushrooms and make kind of a carb kind of a low carb ramen is, yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is good in there. I had something else.
There's like, if you want to go more, add a bit more like twang to it, you could do pickled vegetables. A lot of people do like pickled garlic or pickled mushrooms. There's a few other pickled things. Most pickled vegetables though will go pretty well with a ramen.
Kind of like the red ginger is good. It's sort of more salty than the stuff you usually get with sushi. It's pink.
Yeah, that stuff is really good. The stringy one. It's like diced up into like little strings usually.
Man, I'm trying to think. There was something else that I was going to say. Some places put butter in. It's got like cream kind of.
I would do butter. I like to do butter with the noodles when I'm prepping the noodles. Instead of just using water and salt, I generally will throw seasoning into the water along with butter. Pretty good portion of butter in with the noodles. That way it gives them this really slick texture, adds a lot of sheen to them, which I think adds a lot to the visual appetizing portion to me. Like, if you bring up a big wad of noodles and they're shiny and they look slick and appetizing, like, I think that does a lot for me mentally as far as making it taste better. Even if it doesn't really affect the taste that much, it puts that image and that, I don't know, it gives me the idea of like, man, this is gonna be good just by looking at it.
Also helps your noodles not stick together if you're gonna if you cooked them but your stuff's not ready yet. If there's butter, they stay fresh tasting. They don't get all stuck together.
Yeah, you don't want because that is one thing you can run into, especially if you're using an udon noodle or a soba noodle, a thicker noodle outside of ramen. If once you're mixing it up with the veggies and the extras, the toppings, if the noodles are a bit dry, yeah, you can have some rough mixes and the noodles can actually get stuck to things and it can tear the noodles, tear the vegetables. It can end up a little bit rough. Like, if you ever try to do macaroni and cheese, but if you ever try to do it with the powder and you do it dry, when you're mixing it all together, it can just tear it up and make it into kind of a gruel. That can happen with ramen if you're not careful. We've done handmade ramen a couple times. Done actual big, really extensive topping menu and everything with it.
Yeah, don't do it very often though, because it's a lot of work. It takes all day.
Did you need a reference of his thing there?
I will probably get to that here in a second.
It takes a really long time generally, potato, but once you get done with it, I gotta say it's actually really satisfying to put all the ramen together and just kind of have it there in front of you, and then you just look at it and you know that everything that went into it, you put into it. It's pretty rewarding.
I mean, that's generally how cooking is.
Yeah, Mark, there actually is a pretty good method of making dry powdered macaroni and actually purposely destroying it, like making it into a gruel that can actually taste really good.
Macaroni gratin.
Yeah, it's kind of like gratin. You just take the powder and you throw it in there with the macaroni, with the noodles, and add very little liquid to it. Keep it pretty dry. Use a fork. Make sure you use a fork. So you shred it, and then you whisk it really, really briskly and tear it up. And then after that, you're going to have a bit of a gruel. Then you're going to throw in cream, butter, and mix it and whisk it again. And at the end of it, you got a pretty good gratin, but the texture's not for everybody. Because most people think macaroni, think noodles, and I don't care how basic you might say your tastes are when it comes to food. I think everyone in some way is a critic of macaroni noodles.
I like the shapes, because I'm 5 years old.
Oh, you mean the fact that you still like to have the macaronis that have shapes of animals and stuff?
I just honestly think they taste better. The noodles that come in the shapes.
Well, there's some merit to that. I mean, the texture of a noodle that looks like an image, like a critter or something like that, is entirely different than if it's a noodle, like if it's just an elbow noodle.
Yeah, I like it. And I get mac and bees. And there's bees in my mac and cheese. That actually doesn't sound very good.
Naruto ramen, no ninjutsu though.
Do what now?
If you can't use ninja magic, then just apply your own magic. And all that is a little tender love and care. That's what makes good cooking good cooking. The love.
was so bored.
That was kind of Sesshomaru's thing, is he looked bored.
Sorry we're boring you, Sesshomaru.
Well, I think it was supposed to be because Sesshomaru felt he was so powerful that he didn't... That kind of is how you probably would get if you thought you were one of the most powerful beings in the world. Imagine how boring things would probably feel for you. If you knew that any time there was any kind of conflict that came up, you could handle it. That kind of confidence. Mark says, I'm just childish, so I always get the macaroni in animal shapes. Sasha always does as well, so no worries, Mark. You're not alone.
Yep, it's all about the shapes.
I like macaroni in any form, really. The new Smash DLC? Oh, Banjo. Yeah, definitely. I think it's really cool they actually got around to doing it, because I know that is one that's been, like, heavily wanted in the Smash community. Like, and it also speaks toward future possibilities with gaming with Rare and Nintendo's platform again, which is a lot of good things there.
Maybe they'll put Conquer in there.
I really love the way that they trolled the community, though, when they announced it. Oh, did you guys actually look into the... Have you guys seen the crazy lore that they've, like, thrown into, like, why King K. Rool is actually friendly with Donkey Kong and everything in that scene where they show them, like, hanging out and sleeping together at Donkey Kong's place? And then Banjo-Kazooie come through. Conker would be a really cool one. I don't know if they'd be able to allow him to say anything, though.
Well, he was in, like, Diddy Kong Racing, and that was fine.
Yeah, I mean, they could probably work. If anyone could work it out, it'd be Nintendo. Oh, but as I was saying, for King K. Rool, you notice there that he didn't have his crown, and he was being friendly, like he wasn't being the villain. He was there with Donkey Kong and Diddy. They were all just hanging out having a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a thing, one of the writers wrote a while back about King K. Rool, saying that if it weren't for his malicious view at being a king, like he feels to rule everyone, he has to be cruel. That's why it's a cruel rule. He's King Cruel, because he feels to be king, he has to rule like with an iron fist. So he's missing his crown in that scene, and that's shortly after Joker's been added. The Phantom Thief. What do the Phantom Thieves do?
Oh.
They go into their palace. They steal the crown. King K. Rool's crown was missing. So the general consensus on, and there's something in the description too for Joker, if I remember correctly, and King K. Rool that kind of they hinted at that Joker went into K. Rool's palace, stole his crown, and now King K. Rool has had a change of heart. So now he's friendly with Donkey Kong. Because in the description for King K. Rool, I believe, is where it says that if it weren't for his crown, he actually would like to be friends with the people of the jungle, including Donkey Kong. Alrighty, Mark. So you wouldn't think that the Smash universe was going that deep with it, but it's like, okay, so Joker comes in, and K. Rool has a change of heart. So I think that was pretty cool. That's like little details.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Joker comes in with the first gun ever and makes things better for everybody. Did you guys see there was a Twitter account? I don't know if it still exists, but there was a Twitter account right after Joker was introduced into the game. It was a Joker beat per minute, and they were taking songs and having him shoot to the beat. That's all the Twitter account was. It picked up a crazy amount of followers, like really fast. They would just have Joker standing there in training mode, firing his gun to the beat of the music, and it was all sorts of different songs. There were hundreds of them. Are they still doing anything on that account? It seemed like something that would be kind of short-lived. But they were doing like a ton of songs, like really fast. They were doing like anime music, gaming music. They were doing domestic Western stuff. They had some like Russian songs in there, some movie songs. Friggin' everything from across the gamut. Oh, Resonance from Soul Eater. This was a really good song.
Revolution.
This was a really good anime too. I'm excited for Fire Force next week.
I mean, it popped up in Crunchyroll again, but it's just the preview.
Oh, so it probably was a pretty short-lived account. Yeah, you see those every here and there. Those pop-up Twitter accounts that just have a really cool concept or idea, and they rock it for a while, but then you can tell the creator just kind of gets over it. I think your style actually suits Sesshomaru pretty well.
Yeah.
From a profile standpoint, I think from the front, you'd probably have some issues.
Yeah,
Because
having issues. That's why I went with the profile.
Because Rumiko does the really wide faces,
Mm-hmm.
and you tend to err on the side of thinner faces, but profile looks really good. So are you gonna do those honeycombs on his thing?
Yeah, we'll see.
Huh?
Oh, thank you. Oh, he's got more than one layer. Crap. His hair does look kind of flat. Needs some highlights.
Rumiko was a really, really good and prolific contributor to the anime and manga communities way back. I wonder... I have to look and see what she's been doing recently. I know she's done some other works recently, but everything goes under the radar. Which is a shame, because Rumiko did some of the funniest stuff I watched in my earlier days of watching anime.
Yeah, and she's influenced a lot of people.
Well, actually, believe it or not, when Sash first saw the new Animal Crossing, she seemed pretty disappointed. What would you say?
It seemed at first kind of... The first time I watched the trailer, it seemed kind of like Minecraft a little bit, and I was like, nah, that's not what I want in Animal Crossing, really. It seemed like the items looked like they went with like a 2D version, but I watched the trailer again, and they actually look pretty good. I don't know what she did there. So I watched the trailer a few times and decided that actually it looks okay. But I just hope they add like all the shops and stuff. And
I'm pretty sure they will.
and Brewster and the museum. They gotta keep the museum and stuff. What is this?
I have no idea. Someone did they did a what is it, a parody. It always goes to Nier. It thinks Nier is the ultimate backup.
It's got good taste. I am doing this all on the wrong layer. Yes, Port?
Hello, Portia. That's Portia saying hi to everybody. Yeah, Sash tends to be more on the side of customization gets a little bit overwhelming for her. I love customization, so to me, honestly, this Animal Crossing is more appealing than the previous ones.
I like customization as an option, but I don't like it to be mandatory. I like to be able to choose exactly how much I care to do, and if I don't feel like customizing everything, I don't want to have to.
I want to build my village, and I'm going to lay down my roads in the image of Zack Fair's face from Crisis Core. And everyone can live on the greatest hero that ever lived. But no, really, the whole laying roads thing is actually a pretty cool idea to me.
I was like a really natural looking place, so I would rather there just be grass everywhere. Screw your paths. Don't walk on the grass. Be careful, no sprinting.
I don't think the paths are going to be required.
That's good, because I want just grass everywhere. I love grass.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, in Animal Crossing, the animals never really stayed on the beaten path. They kind of just meandered wherever they want to.
This doesn't make any dang sense.
The thing that was kind of off-putting to me about the Animal Crossing featurette was, I think since they made the characters a bit more realistic, like they actually have a body that you can see now, it struck me as a little bit weird.
Maybe because I played Pocket Camp, like they've been so very slowly like making them taller. It's been a slow transition for me that it doesn't bother me. I didn't notice.
They've been subtly adding body to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get more full-bodied Animal Crossing.
Yeah, people would put their stuff on the ground to make paths. Like they would just what did they call it? You could just put down tiles that were whatever. But it was still like 2D.
With all the customization, though, it looks like they're going to be adding in a lot more stuff that you can add to the town outside of just your house. Like you won't be limited to your house.
Yeah, that was definitely something I did.
Hey, welcome back, Mark. So you did want extra customization away from the house?
I wanted to be able to put furniture outside the house.
Animals would come out and be like, who's this chick leaving sofas in my yard?
Yep.
Yes, Astral Chain is big on my list, as is Deus Ex Machina. And there was Code Vein, we're definitely waiting for.
Oh, Cobain.
Trying to think. Of course, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is a definite must-buy. But I don't know. It seems like everyone out there, everyone in their brothers Rathalos is waiting for Cyberpunk. That game with Keanu Reeves in it. It's gonna be breathtaking. There was a petition to make it so the Platinum Trophy in Cyberpunk was named You're Breathtaking. I wonder if that actually gained any ground.
I don't see why they couldn't do something like that. I mean,
that'd be. I honestly think it would be a perfect way to acknowledge the community and everything.
yeah, it'd be easy for them to do, I would think.
And it sounds good. For a Platinum, you've done everything in the game. You're breathtaking. Oh, it's Guilty Crown.
I can't draw flowers.
It's just a bunch of circles around another circle. There's rumors going around about the Wachowski brothers thinking about doing another Matrix movie. If there was ever a time to strike while the iron was hot, I would say right now, while Keanu Reeves is more relevant than he's ever been, would be the best time. Keanu is what? They're calling him the internet boyfriend right now? He's the boyfriend of the internet? Yeah, that looks good. Oh, where are we putting the cat on this one?
On Fluff.
Should we do a cat? Their whole thing was kind of dog demons.
You're right. Maybe we should do a dog.
Do a Shiba?
I don't usually draw dogs.
What kind of dog was Inuyasha?
Like a wolf? Or
Wolf?
is it just a regular dog?
I think he was supposed to be just like a general dog. I don't think he was a wolf because I think he would have liked to think of himself as such, but Kagome was always telling him to sit, and
Yeah,
he was her dog.
So probably like a Shiba would be good.
Or you could make a little white floppy-eared dog that looks like Inuyasha. If you were a dog.
I could do that. What? Why so? What is she doing?
I was like, what the heck is that noise? But then I realized she was doing one of her stretch yawns. Sounded like someone was choking her.
Always cracks me up when they yawn and meow at the same time, and she knows it. She knows that I'll go pet her no matter where she is if she's doing the yawn meows.
Sometimes they do a yawn, stretch, meow. And it just sounds like it sounds like they sound like a squeak toy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wah. Like, they've done that a few times when I was asleep, and it woke me up because I was worried that, like, something was going on with them. Like, are you okay, cat? No, you're just meowing, stretching, and yawning at the same time? What the? I thought you were in danger.
Wait. Yes, Port?
I'm surprised you didn't have his bangs be more curly.
Yeah, I know. Hers.
'Cause they're-
I
he's-
don't understand because like the back is flat, but the bangs are curly.
He's got
I
very
can't.
voluminous. His bangs got volume. The bangs got bang.
Yeah, I was getting real confused when I was drawing that.
Oh, you got one of those barking cats, Potato? He's like, mac, mac, mac. Our cat Roxas he rarely comes upstairs because he's got a bit of an issue. For some reason, he pees on stuff he shouldn't pee on. Only up here, though, so he's not allowed up here unless we're directly supervising him. But every time we see him, he has like this dry... He kind of sounds like me on a bad day.
Meh.
Yeah, he's got this dry voice, like, wah, wah.
Like, what kind of sound is that?
Like, he doesn't even sound like he's making any effort at all.
We should record it.
Wah,
Meh.
wah.
I should record on my brother's cat. He calls her
Armani?
Boo. Armani just squeaks, but we called her Turtle, but he calls her Boo. And she goes, meow, every time, like the Monster Hunter cats.
Oh, yeah, she does sound like a palico, doesn't she?
Yeah, she cracks me up.
She's like, meow,
Meow.
meow. Yeah, basically, Potato. That's what he sounds like. Like, he doesn't care about anything. He's like, meh.
He's got like the lowest meow.
He's got a case of that dry throat, like me.
Stubby sounds really similar, but he's a little more nasally. It sounds a little bit less lazy.
Man, those colors.
Oh, coming
Bless you, Milo. Yeah, buddy, if you keep shoving your nose under the TV, you're probably going to get a bit more dust that way, buddy. He's finding our TV dust. Yeah, pretty much, Potato. But the thing is Roxas is actually a really loving cat. Like, he's real big on having people pet him. He'll come straight up to you and ask you for pets, but that's how he does it. It's like he doesn't know anything else. He'll actually be excited running around, and then all of a sudden he'll come up to you. Wah,
Wee.
wah.
Okay, I need a picture of a Shiba. Or
Oh, we've got some epic Sawano music going. Sawano's easily one of the top in the industry as far as music. And the bar is on his opera singer. So I figure if you have it like right in front of him, like here in the empty space, just have the dog coming up and like making a face.
I was just gonna have him chilling in the floof. Over here somewhere.
That's what that is. That's the floof. Okay.
Yeah. What did you think it was?
Well, since it's so solid, I was thinking it was like some light or some weird, like, just aura or something.
His floof.
Okay. So you have like the dog laying in it?
Yeah.
This actually was a really good anime too. This one that they're playing the music for. If I could remember the exact name of it though. It's basically Attack on Titan but with trains and steampunk.
Cabaneri?
Yeah, Cabaneri, the Iron Fortress. That was it. It was on Amazon Prime Video though, which is why a lot of folks didn't get to see it. Because who thinks to go watch anime on Amazon Prime Video? I mean, really. They actually have a few really good exclusive licenses, though. But if you guys like Attack on Titan and you haven't seen Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, definitely recommend it. It's a good one. It's actually made by the same people, the Attack on Titan people. Studio Wit, yeah. I think Milo's starting to get a little hot up there.
Is he?
I think so. You alright, buddy? You look like you might be breathing a little bit hard. If you're hot, just come down. Hey, thank you, Potato. He says great work on the artwork.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time, Potato. It's good visiting with you, too. And we will see you on the next one.
Night night. If we're going to bed.
I don't think we have too much left on this one. We just got to do this pupper.
Yeah, I'm
Doggo.
just gonna have him sticking his head out of the floof.
Ah, that'll work. Do that, and then adopt a cat, and that'll pretty much be it.
Has dog. Adopt a cat.
Or adopt a buddy. We'll do adopt a buddy this time.
Yeah.
Adopt or rescue.
They got more brown noses. Yeah. Rescue a buddy? I should probably color him in before doing all this note stuff.
You're doing a white Shiba?
I'm doing what are they, sesame?
Sesame. Why are you busting out these fancy color words?
I like Shibas.
Is that orange?
It's the ones that they're like white with orange parts. They kind of look like a burnt marshmallow or something.
A burnt marshmallow? I guess that's... Yeah, that's a legit description. It sounds funny to say it, but it seems accurate.
Is truth.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the fact he has that big fluffy sash. It's actually a fox, isn't it?
I think it's supposed to be his tail.
You might be right. I haven't watched Inuyasha in like wow. I was a kid.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in more than a decade.
Why is it so hard to find a body shot of Sesshomaru?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm thinking it is his tail though. Oh, yeah. How big is it exactly? Dear Lord. Man, I hope I can shake off whatever the heck is bothering me. As far as... I hope it's not the flu. I hate summer colds. Don't you guys? When you get sick when it's hot out, it's like the worst ever. And for some reason, my cat has sunk into my desk.
Yes, what happened?
I have no neck anymore. I'm just desk. You see this?
Just desk.
I'm strictly desk cat.
Desk.
So what we're gonna pretend is that I'm loafing. I'm doing the cat egg. Cat loaf. Yeah, if I get sick in the wintertime, I can generally be okay with it because, you know, the winter there's not really much to do outside of be cold anyway. But in summertime it's like, what if I wanted to go do something outside? It sucks. I can't. Can't go swimming, go for a walk, any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, at least you can always play games when you're sick. As long as you're not, like, too awfully sick. Games save us from boredom. Looks like a pretty fluffy pupper.
Forgive me, I don't know how dogs work.
You could do like stars for the eyes.
Stars?
Stars. Like you did for that little critter on the Legend of Zelda art with Link and Epona. Remember the eyes for that thing?
Vaguely.
Or are you just gonna give it like regular eyes?
Maybe heart eyes?
Yeah, you could do hard eyes.
happened to that pink that I had? Dang it.
Oh, this is from Blade, Fate Unlimited Blade Works. It's a really sad anime, but it was a good one. So, Mark, how's your arm doing? And any new advances in the video game designing?
I wonder if I can just stamp a single heart. Nope.
Oh, where are you gonna put your signature? Like in his hair?
That is a good question.
You could do a shadow underneath his hair right here, and then put your signature in that in a like lighter gray. If you're wanting it to be a bit more subtle. Hey, my cat's not egging anymore.
Oh, you're right.
So you've got a full hard cast on your arm then? Have you ever had a broken bone before, Mark? If not, when you have those casts, as I'm sure you can probably feel, you're going to end up with a lot of weakness, and you'll have lost a bit of mass on your arm once the cast comes off. As long as you're pretty careful, you can usually gain that back pretty quick, gain your strength in it. Just be sure not to overdo it, though, because you could end up with another fracture again if you're not careful. Take it from me, I've done it before. Got the cast off, went out and did some hard stuff, and then cracked it all over again. Had to go back to the doctor. My doctor's like, "Really, dude? Like, we just took this cast off. What are you doing?" I was a bit hyperactive back then. Took off the cast, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm a Saiyan! I'm stronger than before. Oh, maybe next time. Yeah, kind of like that. It wasn't immediately after I got out of the hospital, but it was the next day that I broke it again. You should draw some shading lines coming out away from him to put emphasis on the fact he's popping out of there. Like little solid black lines coming out.
Eh.
Kind of like that action.
Oh.
to show that he's popping out. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. That way it puts emphasis on the fact he's coming out of the tail, not that he's just kind of he's just this random doggo floating here.
Because he's not random enough. Oh man, that was a good one. What was that one called?
All Noah Zero.
Yeah.
Thing is, we never finished it.
You're kidding.
There's like 2 episodes we didn't watch.
What?
Because it got stalled. The original, the writers, there was like a strike or something, so it was delayed by like 6 or 7 weeks. And then the last 3 episodes were released, and we didn't realize they came out. And then we went back and tried watching it, and we watched the first episode of the 3 we missed, and then we never got around to the last 2. So we don't even know what happened to him.
Oh, we need to, like, remedy that.
I've always been a long-time fan of Baraka. I don't know, I used to draw Baraka when I was a kid all the time. After they introduced him in Mortal Kombat 2, I became obsessed with his arm blades and his mouthy design. I used to draw him all the time. He was actually one of the characters that I used to get better at muscle structure, body muscle structure, and claws, as well as the blades on his arms. Gave me a lot of practice as far as things protruding from skin, or skin being stretched, stuff like that. Also, his kimono and his ninja-like attire gave me a lot of practice for drawing the Asian style of clothing. So I got better at drawing. By drawing him better, I got better at drawing ninjas in general. Yeah, Sub-Zero is cool. When I was a kid, man, it was one of the biggest requests I got. Because remember, I've told you I used to draw for lunch money. I'd draw stuff and kids would pay me. And it's the only time I've ever accepted money for commission, because yeah, back then I wanted it and I had no way of earning it outside of that. So, because I didn't get an allowance for chores or anything, I was just expected to do them. But yeah, Mortal Kombat was a big request. All the dudes wanted Mortal Kombat characters. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Reptile. Baraka was the one I always drew for myself. Noob Saibot, Smoke, Ermac, Cyrax, frickin' every here and there I would get an occasional request for one of the female characters, but I was fine with that because I have a difficult time. I have a really hard time drawing proper female physical structure, mainly the Oppai. I can't get them balanced properly. How do you balance the boobs? One is always bigger or smaller than the other.
What kind of dude are you?
They're hard to draw.
No, they are. They totally are. I have the same problem.
Yeah, I was always drawing all the ninja crew. Which was fine for me for the most part, because I got so used to drawing them that, once you can draw one, you can draw all of them. It's just different colors, and I never really colored much of anything. I always did black and white stuff. I only colored blood. I like the whole black and white aesthetic with bright red. Oh, well, Jillian Fitzpatrick, appreciate you if you are here for subscribing. They're probably not here.
You never know.
I'm glad to know that those markers actually work, though. The what are they? The notifications. And I could read that one. I thought it was going to say adopt a buckle.
Adopt a buckle.
Did you put your signature in the neck?
No, not a motto.
You should put it somewhere in there, like in the same color as his hair, just against the shadow, and that way it'll be nice and subtle. Although, I mean, if we ever had any kind of copyright issues with anyone on all of this art, we have proof. Like, it's like, you don't believe that we did the picture? Okay, watch the freaking stream. Look at that. We got proof. It's her drawing it right there.
Can you read that? Oh, it's kind of a thing.
It actually did come out pretty monochrome with the colors standing out. I like it.
Bud. How did that happen?
Adopt a bud. With 2 D's. A budded. Adopt a budded. A budded.
Adopt a bud.
Adopt a budded.
I mean, that's fine. You can adopt a bud or a buddy, whichever. Oh, and I didn't do.
Adopt a buddy, or Sesshomaru will get you.
He looks like he's trying to pretend it's not there.
He's like, how am I supposed to pull off the tough demon thing when I got this pup just sticking out my tail?
Bam.
Bam. Could still easily crop that off, but okay.
Oh.
That's why I say put it in the depth of the picture somewhere. He's just gonna put it over his eyes.
No,
You're gonna have him crying the name of the channel. Tears streaming down his face. Kitty Bit Games.
Oh no, I can't back out enough. It's okay.
I would just put on the hem of his robe right there. The neckline. Just zoom in and write it in. Since I've been trying my hand at making some memes, I've come to really appreciate the fact you need to put your signature on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, my Tigrex. I don't know if any of you guys remember it. If I posted it anywhere, I took that picture of Tigrex and put a suit on him. And that thing got pretty popular on Reddit, and then it ended up all over Instagram. I really wish I would have put Kitty Bit Games on it. But I didn't.
What is that?
What's what?
The dang KI is still down here. Why are you here?
It's Ki. Ki.
Ki.
Ki.
We are the knights who say Ki.
The knights who say Ki.
Okay, take like 5. I can't write these.
That was fun.
Damn.
Looks good. Looks really good. I like the way it came out. Extra contrast on the doggo.
Putting these dudes in here probably does people real confused if I just like post these on the internet and they're like, cool picture, but why?
That's when you
Careful picture,
just
but
that's
why?
when you just counter with, well, why not? We're trying to get some animals some homes. That's why. We got a good purpose. Well, alright, I think that'll do it for this one.
I think so.
See, look at that. I don't draw anything, and you're able to go from point A to Z on a picture in one night.
It's
If I'm
messy, but
If
it's
I'm
there.
helping draw, it's like, okay, we'll be finished next year.
Yeah, but your stuff looks better.
No. There's just a lot of it is all there is.
Those details, though. I'm just kind of like, yeah, there might be some armor here. I don't know.
I think it looks better without the details, honestly. I just can't help myself.
Like, what's going on here? Let's not draw attention to it, but... Are these connected? Are they not? Who knows?
It's all connected. We're all connected. The world is connected. Anyway, I'm starting to spout more nonsense than usual, so I think I need to go take myself some flu medicine and get myself into the beds.
I'll maybe do some playing of some things, because I haven't had the time today.
Yeah. Well, alrighty. Looks like usual, Mark. You've stuck with us to the end, and we love you for it, bro. We just take so long to draw everything. People are like, oh, dang, I had stuff to do. I had sleeping to get to. We had a lot of new names tonight, though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah, every here and there, we'll pull some new people in, and hopefully they'll be back, and then we'll see us later on.
It's always exciting.
Well, alrighty, Mark. We love you, bro. We will see you on the next one. Hope you have fun with your Mortal Kombat. Good luck on your arm, healing. Hope it keeps going the way it's going. You're nice and young, so you'll recover from it real quick. As far as your games, good luck with that, too. Hope everything's going good there for you. Yeah, we need to get Mercy here next time. I'm not sure where she is, but hopefully we will see her. Yeah, we haven't seen Furball in a while. Willow dropped in like last week for a little bit. Willow's been dropping by as he can, but I hope Furball's doing good. Furball is on the same crazy side of the time schedule of us, the opposite end of the world, like Mercy, so. Well, alrighty. Take it easy, Mark. We will see you next time. As far as anyone else who might still be watching, you guys do the same. Sleep well. We love you. For anyone who might be watching after the fact, we love you guys too, and we appreciate you. Anyone who's new to the channel, likes and subs are appreciated, but completely up to you. What we do ask for around here, though, is if it's within your means, consider adopting or rescuing an animal. ASPCA.org, petfinder.com. You can also Google local animal rescue and adoption options. If you can't bring one home due to living conditions, allergies, what have you, there's some other ways to show your love. What are some of those?
You can also go volunteer, still spend time with the guys, or you can donate money or clothes, blankets. They can use all that kind of stuff.
Yep, so if you've got love to give, there's plenty of ways to give it, plenty of ways to show it, and there are plenty of animals out there who could use that love. And speaking of love, we love you guys, and remember, buy your fun, not your fam. Adopt or rescue. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.